Alright, so in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how I started on Upwork, freelancing as a YouTube manager, and then eventually an editor. And I'm going to be answering the question, is Upwork a safe website to work on? And hang around to the end, and I will give you some tips on getting your first job or gig or project on Upwork as well. So definitely, if you're interested in all that, hang around and watch this video. And I'm going to make a part 2 to this video where I'm going to go more in depth on tips for working on Upwork and getting projects and writing proposals. So if you're interested in that, definitely subscribe to this video so you don't miss out on that next video, and make sure to turn on the notifications as well. So I'm going to break this video down into 5 different parts to keep it simple and organized. And if you have any questions along the way, definitely leave a comment below and I'll be happy to answer your question. So what is Upwork? Upwork is a website that is based or headquartered in San Francisco in the United States, and what it does, it's a website that brings together freelancers and clients. So for example, a freelancer is someone who works for themselves. They don't like go and work for a company. So basically, if you were like a freelancer, like let's say like a house cleaner or something, you would just go and work for yourself and try and find your own clients. But let's say you worked for a bigger company, you were an employee for something like Molly Maid, you would be their employee and they would kind of find you the jobs and send you to places to work, but you get paid a lot less than if you were like a freelancer type house cleaner. So that's just one example of a freelancer, but there are a lot of freelancers that are into you know, graphic design or writing and translating, even accounting. There's all kind of freelancers. So the kind of benefit of being a freelancer is that you can kind of set your own rates and your own hours versus going into an office every day and working from like 9 to 5 or 9 to 6 and only working for a set hourly rate. With freelancing, you can change your rates anytime you want to and make your own hours. But what Upwork does is they basically take the hard part out of finding clients. So instead of having to create your own website and like pay Google to have ads to send people to your website to get clients, Upwork helps you to like look for jobs that people clients post, and you can apply to those jobs if you're interested. And sometimes the jobs are just like a one-time job. Sometimes it's ongoing. I would say a lot of the jobs on Upwork are more long-term than short-term, but some jobs, you know, it could be something that you could do in 5 minutes and that's it. So a good thing about Upwork is that it's open in almost every country of the world that I can think of. So if you live anywhere in the world, that you can apply to work on Upwork, and you don't really have to apply, but you do have a little application process so that they kind of prove you have the skills that you say you have to provide that service on their website. So no matter where you are, you can sign up for Upwork, but the only one thing Upwork does do is they do take a percentage of your final project fee. So if it's like $100, they might take anywhere from maybe $10 to $20 from that final price. I think it's anywhere from 20% down to 5%, but that is the kind of price you pay for using their website. And I've been on the website for 4.5 years and it's totally fine. Like some of my clients, I only have a 10% fee. If you bring your own clients on to Upwork, I don't think that you have to pay that fee. I think if you get 0 if you bring that person on to Upwork, and that's kind of a little bit different process I will talk about in my next video, but that's just something to keep in mind. Alright, so question number 2, or point number 2 that I'm going to address really quick is Upwork safe to work on, or can you get scammed or ripped off or anything like that? And Upwork has been around a while. I would say probably more than maybe 6, 7, maybe even more than 10 years. I'm not totally sure, but they have a lot of precautions in place to prevent scams. And me personally, no, I haven't even had, I would say, virtually no issues with scammers on Upwork. On Fiverr, which I have also worked on, there are a ton of scammers, so that's a lot more, you know, issues you have to sift through. But I would say the biggest thing is if something sounds too good to be true, if the project sounds too good to be true, in most cases it is. If you've ever sold anything on Facebook Marketplace or on OfferUp or something like that, and it's more expensive than $100, like a piece of furniture, a camera, or a computer, and immediately you get these like long stories about someone interested in, but there's like all these different things you have to do, immediate red flag. So that could also be same on Upwork. In my field, that it doesn't happen a lot, but Maybe in other areas like blog writing, you might have other issues with scams, but for the most part, I have not experienced anything like that. And the way Upwork works, it's really hard to get scammed. In 4.5 years that I've been on Upwork, I haven't had any issues. So just read through everything. If it sounds too good to be true, just pass on it. So point number 3 is why YouTube management and how did I get into YouTube management? I'm going to keep this one quick. So back in 2016 is when I started getting this idea, like maybe I should have a YouTube channel about living in Spain. And so I started researching. I probably researched for over 6 months, like everything I could about YouTube and, you know, how to grow a channel, you know, a little bit about monetization, growing a brand, marketing everything, all that. And then in 2017, like when I was back in the United States, I got a job with a big YouTube channel, Grant Cardone in Miami, his office in Miami. I started working there, and my desk was like right next to the like YouTube and video editing guys. And I had just started my channel that year, so I was just kind of like listening to all the things they were doing, and every day we would go over the stats, and I would just see the kind of content they put out. And I took some courses on YouTube SEO and just best practices in general, and I just started like learning by immersion how to grow a YouTube channel. So that is where I got the idea to be like a YouTube manager. And if you're curious about, you know, maybe starting a channel or having a little coaching session, I'll put the link to my consultations below, or you could just shoot me an email at lindseylavita@gmail.com, and, you know, we can talk about it and set something up if that's something you're interested in. All right, so point number 4 is how did I get started on Upwork? So basically, I started Upwork back in 2018, and at that time in my life, at the end of 2017, I had moved from Florida back to Nashville. I quit my job in Grant Cardone's office. I was having some health issues at the time that I was concerned about. So I thought, okay, I'm just gonna move back to Nashville and, you know, get things checked out. And I really hadn't planned on staying here for really maybe more than a few weeks, but it took longer than I thought to kind of figure things out. But in that time, probably, you know, almost maybe mid 2018, I hadn't really been working for almost a year, and I wanted to start making money on my own, but I wasn't really comfortable working outside the house at that time. So I thought, I was like brainstorming ideas of how I can make money. In all honesty, I really don't know how I got this idea to look for like online freelancing. Maybe I saw a YouTube video on it. I'm not really sure, but I just Googled and I found Upwork, and I just looked at that website and some other websites like freelancer.com, and Upwork looked like the most legit out of all of those. So then I just signed up, and I thought, okay, well, I'll just be like a YouTube coach and I'll see if that's like even a thing. I didn't even know if it was a thing, but apparently it was. So yeah, when I just went to the Upwork website, you kind of have to fill out a little application, and I guess I showed them my YouTube channel. Like, I really don't know how I proved that I could be a YouTube coach. I don't even remember, but they approved me, and then I just started filling out my profile. And one thing I did was like I looked at other people's profiles, and there were like other YouTube coaches. So I guess it's kind of like a division of social media management, but specifically for YouTube. So I just kind of like looked at other people's profiles and kind of came up with something and just started looking for jobs. All right, so point number 5 is getting my first job on Upwork. Now, I'll be first to say that I don't think the Upwork website is super well organized or has a good UX or user experience. It can be a little confusing. Well, looking for a job, that page is not confusing, but kind of things you need to do after you find a job. It's kind of like, okay, go here, go there, whatever. But I just went to the jobs page and I just started browsing like YouTube. I just typed in the search bar, I just typed in YouTube. So if you have, you know, if you do like web design or blog writing or translating or anything like that, you'll just kind of search that and just see what jobs come up. In my next video, I will talk a little bit more like some strategy to getting jobs, because there can be a lot of competition on Upwork, but there are some things you can do to like cut through that competition and stand above the crowd and get those jobs fast. But that'll be in the next video. But I remember like one of the very first jobs I applied to, the guy asked for my proposal. I said, hey, I just sent him a message or something, or I applied and said, hey, I can help you with growing your YouTube channel for your vitamin business. He's like, okay, send me a proposal. And then I was like, started like sweating, like, what the heck is a proposal? Like, I didn't know exactly what that meant. So then I went to Google and I typed in like proposal, and if you're sending like a job proposal like outside of Upwork, it can be lengthy for like you know, a business or something. But for me, like, I end up writing like some 3-page proposal, and I don't even know if I heard back from him. But when you're on Upwork, you don't need to write a proposal that's long. Like, honestly, just a few sentences telling them who you are, how you can help them in your rates, or like a range of rates or something like that. I just keep it simple when it comes to proposals, because people oftentimes get dozens of proposals a lot of times, and you just want to keep it short and sweet to see if you even would qualify for what they're looking for. So to get my very first job or little project or gig or whatever, like, I think I did like a $5 YouTube channel review. You know, that's just what I did, just to kind of get something, just to get the ball rolling, just to get some reviews. And the thing is, you want to just get some reviews, like 3 to 5 5-star reviews. You have to get 5 stars. Like, I mean, that's the goal. Like, always do your very best with every project, of course, but with those very beginning ones, like, you want to go above and beyond to make sure you've got like enough 5-star reviews that people can see, okay, this person is credible and they are willing to pay whatever rate you decide to ask, or whatever. You know, it could be an hourly rate, or it could be like project based by the project. But in the beginning, I started out with like $5, and then I might have done the next project for like $15 or $20, and then on and on. And even to this day, like, I kind of fluctuate my rate, because sometimes if I'm really busy, I'll put the rate higher so I don't get as many offers. And that's another thing. After you've been at Upwork a while, you don't really have to search for job offers. Upwork will start sending you job offers, so that's kind of a good thing. They have like people that work for them that like send you job offers that look good, that fit your skill set. So anyway, if I'm really busy, I put it up a little higher. If I am getting slower, or if it's just not as busy in the summer or around the holidays, I might put my rate a little bit lower, and then I get more offers coming in. And then after some time went by, I realized I became like a top rated freelancer on Upwork, and it's just like this little badge or something you get next to your name. And I don't really even know how that happened or how long it took for me. I would say maybe 6 months to a year, or I'm not even sure. But I think because I did start having a few regular clients that I would do weekly work for, I try and keep like 2 or 3 or 4 regular clients at all times. But some people come and go, especially with YouTube. They might, you know, really work hard for a period of time and then take a break. So then I'll look for somebody else. But overall, like, I usually have a few main clients, and then every now and then I'll just do like little projects here and there to pick up extra, you know, extra job, extra money. And the cool thing about Upwork is, like, you don't have to make it your full-time job. If you're a teacher, or you work part-time somewhere during the daytime, and you have extra time in the evenings or on the weekends, like just 5 to 10 hours a week, or even like 3 hours a week, you could probably just do a little project here and there. They have so many different like categories where you could do projects. Like, almost anybody in any field could freelance their skills, from accounting, IT, creative things, teaching something. Or even if you're a teacher, if you like to proofread, there are many jobs for people proofreading and editing documents. So there's generally something for everyone if you want to make a little bit extra money in your free time online without having to, you know, work a side job at the mall or something like that. And the good thing is you can charge way more, so you don't have to work as many hours. Like, if you charge $50 to $100 an hour and you only work like 3 hours a week, that's like, could be anywhere from $150 to extra $300 a week. So I really definitely recommend Upwork. I definitely recommend brainstorming things you can think about. And in the meantime, while you're doing that, you can check out some of the other videos on my channel. I have a video on how I went from teaching to freelancing, so definitely check that video out. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out my next video, my part 2 on that I'm going more in depth on Upwork. So definitely be sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and of course, leave me a question in the comments if you have one. And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.